Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have another endgame composition to share with you. This one was composed over a century ago, 1915, by Frédéric Lazard. It's white to move, and as usual, I encourage you to spend some time with these, maybe away from the computer screen, and see if you can find the best continuation. Okay, the solution. Well, actually, before I share the solution, let me point out what is not a good attempt. Something that you have to kind of test out when trying to solve it. King b7 is not a good approach because after bishop e4, the pawn is pinned to the king, king c7, bishop takes pawn, king d7, and this pawn is just too fast. You're not going to catch it, and there's no fancy tricks involved. Black is just going to be able to get a queen and go on to win. The idea here is which one of these two squares to make use of. The idea is to go to b8 on move 1. An important detail to sidestep this pin of the pawn. Why is this important? Well, after bishop e4, doing something else like moving the king, whenever the king moves, this pawn is able to move and it frees the bishop. This will be a simple draw. So black has to go hunting for this pawn by way of bishop e4. And now, in a very important moment, the move d6. We'll see the significance of this shortly. Basically converting this pawn, the e pawn, to a d pawn. And now, from here, the idea is to hunt down this pawn. Let's see how things are different, working with now a d pawn instead of an e pawn. Black has to continually push this pawn, because if the king ever is able to blockade it, it can make, black can't make any further progress. The king would have to move at some stage in order to maybe allow the pawn to move. I don't even think that's the case. But if the king does move, you always have this b5 advance and it frees the bishop. So black can't allow this king to blockade. He has to keep pushing. White keeps approaching. And after d3, another important moment, the trick here is to approach the pawn but not capture the bishop. Capturing the bishop in this case, black will go on to get a queen, and there are no tricks. Black will go on to win this one. The idea is to ignore the bishop, play king d4, and after d2, king c3. See the idea here? White is now up against a wall of pawns, and there's 4 different ways this pawn can promote. Promoting to a queen results in stalemate. Promoting to a rook, same story. And looking at the minor pieces, promoting to a bishop, black cannot win this. Same colored bishops, no progress to be made here. You cannot force checkmate. And the final one, the trickiest one, and go figure, it's related to the promotion of a knight. Black can't win this. After king here, if the knight moves, king e3 will pick up one of the minor pieces next. The only way to save the minor pieces is bishop f3. But even so, in this position, black cannot win. Black can save these two, but in order to try and deliver checkmate, this would mean that the king has to help out. And as soon as the king helps out, there's always this b5 move, which is going to free the bishop to help defend in the knight and bishop versus king endgame. This is a drawn position. So that's the key idea. First, king b8, and then converting the e pawn to a d pawn. Go hunting, sidestep this capture, and then put the king up against this wall for those stalemate tricks once white promotes. Anyhow, as usual, feel free to leave any feedback to this composition in the comments section below. Let me know if you figured it out, and I hope you enjoyed it. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.